allowed to upload? Easier for you? I've been watching them, but it's only giving me like older ones. I still haven't found any new ones. Yeah. Yes. You need to get a cam. Do you have a cam? You should record the cam too. You should do like new games, like unboxings and stuff like that. Get a new phone every once in a while, right? It's like top of the brand name, blah blah blah. Like your old phone, you never dropped it or cracked it or broke it or anything like that. You get a new phone and you got the old phone that you're never going to use again. You can do a drop test on it.
True.
Destroy the phone, catch it on fire, put some fireworks on top, see what happens. Tear it apart.
Hey everyone, K-Dog here from K-Dog Gaming. I got a special guest with me tonight. You wanna say hi, man?
Hello everyone, how we doing?
That's Coronas, so.
That's me.
That's my name, don't wear it out, right?
Right.
No, I'm staying on the highway because I can at least do 70.
At least all you're in Arizona, eh?
I'm out that way right now.
Arizona, Nevada area.
Yeah.
North to south, a little bit of east and west you can go.
Fucking going eastbound right now.
Towards Flagstaff?
Something, I'd have to look at my thing again. Another wonderful view of the front of the truck with the lights on.
Here's little mods. You have to show me how to get those mods to actually work one of these days.
If you ain't gonna be busy the weekend, I can probably show you.
I work the weekends, you remember?
Oh, fuck that. Damn it.
Gotta love working for a corporation of America. The biggest monopoly out there.
Jeez.
Oh, at work more than 13 hours, only get paid for 8 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. I'd be like, okay, you're only gonna be paying me for 8. I'm only working 8.
Well, that's what. Yeah, that's right. But I go to work. Okay, I clock in at 1 o'clock. But from like 12:30 or sooner, I'm getting ready for work, right?
Yeah.
So that's taking out of time for work. Then I get to work, which is about a 15, 25-minute drive. And then I'm at work. I'm working. You work 10 hours. They take a full hour lunch from you. So you clock out. You're not getting paid for that hour you're there. Of course, that makes sense. But then you leave at 10 o'clock. By the time you get home, it's almost midnight because you have to pick up a few things from here or there, buy this or that, get some gas, so you can do it all over again. When you get home, it's midnight. What else do? You can't go play golf. So they've stolen most of your life in that scheduling. Then you get up in the morning time around 8, 9, 10 o'clock just to do it all over again in an hour. But you only get paid 8 hours of that. And if you have full time, then you're there until Saturday, Sunday coming around, you're getting a day off.
So in other words, my partner in crime here is going to be gone mostly now.
Well, I mean, if you're recording at this time, it's about 8:54 where I'm at.
It's about
Yeah, I'll be gone.
9:54 my time, so.
Yeah, I still have 2 more hours of work to go. Plus, the 45 minutes of activity before I get home.
You're killing me, right? You know that, right?
Yep.
Hopefully it at least works out. I know you said you're hoping it will.
Oh, yeah.
I guess 50-50, especially with an injury. A lot of businesses, and companies don't like that after an injury. They think it's too much of a liability. Just like me with my back and my bad shoulder, a lot of companies think it's too much of a liability.
Yeah.
They don't.
Well, that's what they did to me. I was on Narcos, so they told me, get out, go home until you're off of those. Liability.
Yep, that's a big liability if you're working heavy equipment too.
Yep. And then they didn't want my gallbladder exploding on them, so they said, no, go home. But I go to work tomorrow, and I'll be probably working for about a week and a half or so, and then I'll probably end up in surgery anyway.
And then you'll be out for a while again.
Yeah. But at least I'll be out for a while again and didn't lose my position.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I can finally get closer to getting tires in my truck licensed. I'll be able to do all that in one shot, in one paycheck. Light all 4 tires, tag it, and insure it.
Have fun with that one.
I pulled it out of its graveyard, and I worked on it for 3 days, and she's purring like a kitten, so yeah. Cost me about $170 to get her up and running.
Oh.
Well, the sending unit was bad. It had holes in the line on the top end, so it was losing fuel pressure. And then the boot, the main problem with the truck, the boot was split. That goes from the fuel pump to the fuel sending unit. They had this little rubber hose on there that wasn't threaded or pressurized to take pressure or anything like that, so it just split on them.
Oh boy.
So when they replaced the fuel pump, they put an inferior tubing on there, and it blew out, and there goes your fuel pressure. Now, when you fill it up, you'll be just fine until you get down to a certain point below half, and then you lose your fuel pressure again because it can't sustain a pressure.
Ugh.
It's blowing the fuel right back out through that hole into the tank. So you're getting some fuel to the engine, but not enough to sustain it running.
Yeah.
So I got that fixed. That cost me $75. It was sitting at a friend's farm, and they moved it from where it was sitting in the barn, and they put it out in the pasture.
Oh no.
In the tree line. In the tree line. And we're in Illinois, humid as hell.
You never.
Lots of grass. Yeah.
Never do. Oops, my bad.
Yep. Go ahead.
I just crashed a little bit. My bad.
I frustrated you so much you crashed. Yeah, so now I have to do my brake calipers. Those are bad. They're rusted out. The frame is lost about, I'd say, 1/8 of an inch worth of metal because it's flaking bad. I lost my quarter panels. They're rusted out. Not my quarter panels. The side panels off on the cab on the bottom side. It's just old rusted up Chevy, really. The fenders got cancer up and stuff like that. But the shocks on the stabilizer shocks, they're gone. Those got to be replaced. I had to replace the brake line because it was completely rusted through from sitting in the weeds. The fuel pump had to be replaced.
Fuck that, man. Damn.
Oh, yeah. I fixed the door. The pins were old, so the door didn't close right. The seat wasn't working. A mouse chewed on a wire or something like that. The wire is pinched or something and split open and didn't allow power to get to the seat. That got fixed. Yeah, I did all that in about 3 days worth.
Damn.
Tires are so old, they're split on the walls, so they hold there, but they look shady as heck.
Yeah, just accidentally sideswiped the vehicle just a second ago with my trailer.
You
Oops.
should have gotten out of the way.
Well, I was coming back on, and I'm sorry, he wasn't there when I was coming back on. Because I looked in my mirrors before I even started.
Spontaneous, random appearance.
It must have been, jeez. Alright, I'm not waiting for you jackasses to get moving. I got a job to do. What the hell do you got?
Had to be in your way. I found a little thing you can do on there. Get on the shoulder, run the shoulder.
I wish it was that easy, but some of these turns you gotta be careful on.
Yeah, I figured it out. I was hitting some at top speeds and turning the turns. One time, oh, you would have been proud of me. I got on, I wouldn't say two wheels. The trailer was, and the tractor and trailer were on only the left side wheels.
Oops.
And it literally looked like the window, my driver window was about to hit the ground, and I saved it from doing so. It started tipping, and I mean, it was going. I'm like, oh crap. So I hit left, and it started kicking back the other way. She rode for about 3 or 4 telephone poles on one side, and then finally the trailer with the weight kind of put it back on all 4. So yeah, I was like, whoo, let's slow this one down. I was doing 70 when I hit the turn.
Oops.
Didn't hit nothing. I didn't crash. I didn't get no damage. Nothing. And I didn't lose any speed. And I had a pretty good heavy load. I think it was a refrigerated cart, so, standard load.
Yeah, they got some weight, but not a lot.
Enough to say they have some weight. Bog you down a little bit on hills.
Oh, yeah. Almost any of these trailers, if they're full of shit, yeah, they got a little weight to them.
Oh, yeah.
Might not seem a lot to you, when you're just picking 1 or 2 of them up, but...
That's a lot. I think it had to be maxed out at 80,000.
Jeez.
I about come across a good buy today. I had, not today, yesterday, F250 Super Duty. It was a 2000 diesel, man, diesel.
Yes, it's a diesel, but it's a Ford.
Yeah.
Okay, I know I'm gonna get comments in this one, so let's just continue on. So
it was the only thing available for. I mean, it was nice. I mean, it had everything, power, everything, all leather. It had the nav in it, and everything else. It had the goose, the fifth wheel in the back. I mean, $1,000 and up gooseneck attachment. So I mean, it was up there. Brand new tires, which that's a godsend for 17-inch, 22-inch. What I think it was, they're 20+ inch premium wheels is what it was listed as. So they were like 22-inch rims. This is a nice truck. I mean, look, the only bad thing was on it was on the tailgate where someone went to back in up to get on a hitch, or the ball come off the hitch with some speed and started smacking into the back of the tailgate. Yep. So there was a couple little surface scratches and indentation of a scratch,
oh boy.
but it wasn't like a big dent. Totally overlookable. For guess how much they wanted for this truck?
Probably way too damn much for it being a Ford.
$4,900.
Okay, not as bad as I thought, but
it only had 216,000 miles on it.
That's what. Oh God, no. That kind
Turbo
of
diesel.
That kind of miles, man. You might as well just park that son of a bitch.
Turbo diesel. You can put almost 400,000 miles on those engines. It was the 7.3. I saw some the same year make model. They had 360,000 miles on one of them, and they still wanted like $16,000.
Fuck that.
Some of them were 23 and up. I saw one that's been sitting in the sun for so long. This is at a Valley Ford, a Ford outlet center. I call it an outlet center basically because it's not a dealership where all the Krispy Kreme it's like you're going to Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donut, and Krispy Kreme's and then Krispy Kreme's weird cousin is Dunkin' Donut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something like that. You go there and they got the Valley Ford sign, and then you're looking around. They have no real lot. They have brand new cars, but these cars have been sitting for so long that they're pushing through the asphalt.
Oh God.
Right. Literally, I saw like 20 brand new cars, never moved. They were sitting on their engine supports. They were sitting on the axles and stuff of these cars. They just bottomed out to the ground. They've been there for that long, brand new. The paint was peeling off because of sun damage. Some of them had hail damage from sitting there for so long. Some of them had cracked windshields. One of them, the seal around the windshields from sitting so long was just gone. You just touched it and it turned to dust.
Damn.
You could see through where the weathering stripping was gone off the windshield and see through. It was like there was no seal there. You could literally just push the windshield right off the car.
Jeez.
Brand new trucks that are like 2016, the insides from sitting in the sun on the dashboard cracked. The seats, the leather and the pleather was ripping up and stuff because it was just so dry rotted. And these are brand new trucks, just going to waste because you want $73,000 for a truck that's got like 160,000 miles. And it's got sun damage, it's got hail damage, the tires are flat, the tires are literally in the pavement, down past the rim. The rims are shot, some of them are aluminum, they have the calcium buildup and the calcium rust, whatever you want to call it, the white calcium buildups all over it. They're junk, they're no good. The beds are rusted out. There was one literally sat so long that the bed was laying on the ground because it rusted off of the tractor itself. It's gone. And he has over 100 used cars that he gets them in there real cheap, and then he wants premium top dollar for it. So a 1990s Chevy, I'm telling you, it didn't even have headlights. They were gone, busted out. The grill gone, the hood gone. This thing looked like it was started being pieced apart. Well, he wanted almost $4,000 for it, and it's been sitting there since the 60s.
I look at them and say, "I'll give you 1,000 if you're lucky."
I had over 180,000 miles on. This is a gas car, so now you know that's getting to the end of its life, which this thing is already in the grave. Literally, it's burying itself.
Shit, it's more than that. It's fucking dead.
Gone. But he was firm on the price. I'm like, are you kidding me? You want to move the items. You don't want to keep them. So if you get a customer in here saying, hey, I would like that pile of bolts that you got sitting out there, give it to him.
Yeah.
Don't hold it. You work for Ford. You will make a commission. Forget those new cars. People do buy used.
Yeah, no shit, especially nowadays.
Yeah, he wouldn't budge. I tried to get this. He had this 2013. It was an F-250 Super Duty. It had a long bed and a super cab. I mean, it's nice. And I was looking at around $8,000. I looked up one like the 2000 Blue Book said $12,000 for what it was, and the guy was selling it for $4,900. Now that's a good deal.
Yeah, that's better.
I even told the guy, well, he was selling it the same day I went up there to ask him if he wanted to trade in, because my truck, the way it's sitting, with a little bit of rust on it, and all the upgrades I've just done, well, not upgrades, I want to say the mechanic maintenance I've done to it, it's sitting $2,500 easy. That's what it's worth, $2,500. I can get $2,000 for a trade-in on a $4,000 vehicle, and I only owe you $2,000. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
I have that. I can do that. Well, he was selling it that day, so I didn't get the truck. I was a little down about that. So I went looking at this other place, and this guy, he was wanting $23,000, $43,000 for trucks that, I'm telling you, so sun damaged, if you sneeze, you lose the whole interior. It'd be gone. It'll blow in the wind. And he was firm on it because it's a new truck.
Shit, nothing's sitting there rusting out. Shit, it's not a new truck. Yeah. It's a pile of shit.
Right. Some of them, the clear coat is just, you just brush up against it and the clear coat is just falling off.
I look at
Yeah,
that
it's
guy and
exactly.
laugh at him. I feel like, dude, I'm not buying nothing from you for the simple fact, uh-uh. You're
Like he
asking
had
brand
some.
new prices for something that's nowhere near brand new. Good luck.
Yep. He was looking for top dollar out of jump.
Yep. And no one's gonna buy it. He's gonna be out of business before he knows it.
He had about 16 of the Silverados that I've got. He wanted 4, 5, 7 grand for them, and then, dude, they weren't even sitting on rims.
Psh,
They were just the rims were gone. What was left of the rim was sitting on top of the pavement. The rest was underground, rusted out, gone. It wasn't even connected to the truck. I think 1 or 2 of the lug nuts were holding the rest of the rim on. That's how bad it was. Like bad, bad.
Yep, I would have
I
looked at
should have.
that dipshit and laughed at him.
Yep. Like I don't know how you're still in business. You're letting good vehicles that poor people, that people that don't have credit, we can come and gobble those up. You know what I mean?
Oh, fuck
We
yeah.
can start making a. You're gonna make your money because I'm gonna give you money for these things at low bottom dollar, and then I'm gonna take them and I'm gonna throw a couple of dollars in them, and then I'm gonna flip them and I'm gonna send them out. I'm gonna make me some money. I'm gonna fix my credit, then I'm gonna come back to you because you did me so well, and I'm gonna buy a brand new off of you so you can make a greater commission. Now that's how he should be playing.
Should be, but he's too stupid apparently.
Well, he's got to make top dollar off of just about everything. Lug nuts are $40. That's after the threads have stripped out of them.
Yeah. The problem is you're not gonna make a commission or any type of profit, even, if you're gonna charge top dollar for shit.
The guy that's been helping me on the truck because, well, he's retired and he's just too bored not to do anything. He don't like Chevy, but he took me out to this guy. He's like, this guy, he doesn't budge on his prices. He's a hard ass still. Prepare yourself. So I go in there to tell him what I want, and this guy basically he's like, oh yeah, we could try something, get a bank for 43,000. Whoa, dude, no, nope, I'm out. $43,000 for sun damage. I'm good. What are you gonna do? Buff that out?
Shit. Better do more than
Well,
buff that bitch out. You better fucking
the
just.
guy that took me there, he would come over to this dually that he was looking at. He's like, I was looking at this 16 years ago, and it was sitting right here, same spot. And it's heat rusted. The rust is real smooth, but it looks like toast. It's been toasting in the sunlight so long that it's lost its paint, but it's real smooth. It's not pitted rust. And the interior is just tattered because of sun damage. I mean, it was a nice, vibrant, old 60s, 70s red that is now almost white, pink. I mean, you just shake your head and you feel sorry for the vehicle.
Yeah.
Really,
Not
that thing
the
could still
idiot
be on
that's
the road.
trying to sell in it.
Yeah, he wouldn't come down on price, and it sat there. And that tells you exactly what kind of person he is. He don't care if they rust away. He wants his dollar
Yep. And no one's gonna buy it if they're sitting there rusting away.
for that dollar. No,
They look like that. No one's gonna buy them. I would
I
have
went
told
to
him
this
that.
other.
I would have said, dude,
Yep.
no one's gonna buy your shit for top dollar because it's rusted the hell out.
I told him I can't, and I would never do. I'm not gonna take a loan for something that's already destroyed, buddy.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna take a $43,000 loan, I'm buying brand new 0 miles.
Yep.
This thing has 200,000 miles on it, and
You want
it's
top dollar.
buried. It's buried in the ground.
Yeah.
The rims are trash. The tires are trash. Am I getting new tires? No. Those tires should air up. Are you kidding me? I have dry rotted tires on my Chevy. I'm afraid to drive.
It's like, what the
You
fuck
know?
are you smoking? Where the hell is mine at, you dumbass? Damn.
I'm not gonna drive my Chevy until I got brand new tires. And what makes you think I'm gonna drive a vehicle that's been sitting for 5 years in buried in dirt?
Oh shit.
So yeah, nope. I went to this other dealership. The guy, he wanted the truck. He's like, if I trade you my truck, pink slip, because I told him he had a Dodge 1500, nice, jacked up. It had nice tires. It had some flaws, but not too many. Mine's got flaws, so it was a perfect trade. I told him straight up. That Dodge needs work. Mine has work. It needs more. What do you say? I mean, I can even trade you out and then make a payment to the rest. What do you say? He's like, Honestly, no. Because he had a great concept. He's like, I sell these vehicles at the lowest dollar that I can. He's like, I'm not worried about making money. I'm just paying a paycheck, getting a paycheck. He's like, I'm trying to put vehicles out there for people that can't make it. He's like, I'm not trying to rob anyone. I'm like, hey, you're cool. He's like, but if you get, I had to get my title. I lost my title. You know, like, it's been sitting for, well, I've had it going on 4 years, and it's been sitting for 4 of those years that I've had it. And then the guy that had it before me, it sat for 6 years.
Oh, jeez.
Right. And everyone that I know has been saying, get rid of that truck, go junk it, go junk it, go junk it, I'll give you $200 for it. And I wouldn't budge. I'm like, nope, nope, nope. Well, she's purring like a kid. They all dogging me, oh, Chevys suck, Chevys suck.
No, they don't. Ford suck.
I just put a wrench to it, turned 2 bolts, and she's purring like a kitten after 9 years of sitting without a turnover. Did not turn that engine over once for almost 9 years.
Shit, you tried doing that with a Ford, you would have to replace everything.
Right? Plus, it was sitting in weeds. Someone stole the battery. Someone stole the alternator. I mean, stupid stuff like that. But she runs. And runs well. She's only got 160,000 miles on it.
Hell, a Ford would be, or even a foreign pile of shit for that matter too.
Right? She don't leak oil. Don't burn oil. I have an exhaust leak from sitting outside in the grass, but it's straight pipe anyway, so who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got dual exhaust on it.
Nice. But yeah, give me a Chevy or a Dodge. Anything foreign or a goddamn Ford. Take that shit somewhere else, because you barking up the wrong tree.
Well, there is some foreigns that are starting to lead in competition. I mean, they're doing dang good because they're trying to outdo. I mean, you go to Chrysler, I think they're starting to get a little shady. A lot of mechanics that I know, they said they see more of this car or more of that car in there. They tell me which ones to kind of look away from. And it didn't say, they talked about Chevy too, starting to more electronic parts being put in, more accessories that run on computers, and more computer driven engines are starting to become a pitfall, because the engine might not have a problem, but if that computer, which does have a lifespan of a couple of years, if it goes bad, your engine's bad.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So then you have to replace a $3,000 item to run a $3,000 item. And if you don't know that $3,000 item computer part is what's wrong, you're going to start throwing away a lot of money really quick.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't buy anything that is too new. I'm 95. I tried to go to a junkyard looking for some 95 parts. And that was back in 2005. And they're like, we don't carry anything 5 years old. He's like, it's all new stuff. Sorry, buddy, we don't have 1995. I'm like, really? She's only 24 years old. Come on.
Oh shit.
I'm older than my truck just by a decade.
That's bad.
Right. Well, I had a truck that was 15 years older than me. No, wait, 30. No, 20, 15, something like that.
Don't hurt your brain trying to think, okay?
That was the best truck I ever had. It was a D100 excavator. It was a sweet ride. She'd pull anything you wanted her to pull. You turned a key, and the engine was running. You didn't have to worry about nothing. Hell, I ran it 4 years without checking the oil. I'm like, I should check the oil. Check the oil, bone dry.
Oops.
You know what I did? Put the dipstick back in it, drove it for another year and a half. She just would not die. I mean, when you're only getting 2.6 gallons per mile, you don't take it out of town. You don't put it on the interstate. It drives in town And I mean, I put some spot oil in after that. After about 2 years of noticing I didn't have any oil, I started oiling it, of course. But she would run without oil. It was an old military, had like a 600 Cleveland in it or something like that. Anyone can, viewers want to correct me on that. But I mean, the sticker was correct. 600 Cleveland. It was an old military truck. She was a big girl. So much weight in front, dude, that it had the struts were bottoming out on small, simple bumps on the road and potholes. You just bounce for miles because of a small pothole. But the back end, she was sturdy. She had a 1-ton back end, which I think was a conversion.
Yeah,
Previous
probably.
owner, because she wasn't a 1-ton. She was a 3/4-ton truck. She, had a locker, locked the hubs in place. Those were the good old days, the good old work trucks.
Yeah, the trucks that actually
Worked. That's why I go with anything. You say you got a 95 for run or sale, I might take you up on it.
I did
You
have
see
a
you got
95.
2005,
No, 94, 95.
not a bad year.
Fucking all fucking steel. One of them Chevy
Yep.
S10
See.
Blazers.
Yep. That's about the conversion rate where they started to do. You started to get like the power windows and stuff and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Back, and when you start getting computer electronics and stuff in there, but it's still simple enough.
Yeah.
You can work on it. It's still mechanical. I still have a mechanical fuel pump that I could put in the engine. So yeah, that's just the greatest thing. I mean, you don't have to worry about all of this crap. I have one fuel line into my engine, and that's it. I don't have to worry about too much. I only have two injectors that I have to worry about. I don't have to worry about 8. You know, the good life.
Hey, I'm gonna finish this bitch.
I got her running and everything, and I wanted to test out the brakes, so gave her a little gas taking off. Rooster tails.
Nice.
There's a wooden fence about 12 feet away from the truck. It splattered it.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. It was a little moist, kind of gravelly, kind of muddy, gravelly, like, real small rocks.
Yeah.
No big void, small void.
My
As
favorite.
soon as I hit that gas, it dug in and threw rocks. It was nice. Even in reverse, it was tailing backwards too. So she had plenty of power. So the people that I had, they drove the truck with the problem. I mean, they 2-footed it, gas brake, gas brake, gas brake. They had to keep the fuel running for it to work. So they drove it 16 blocks to work and then 16 blocks back in a small rural town. That's it.
Jeez.
All day, every day for about 3 or 4 years. And then it sat for 6 years because they couldn't figure out what was wrong. Inferior tubing. And then I bought it. They wanted 2,500 for it. I talked them down to 1,000. They were desperate. Left them alone for a year or two. They come back knocking on the door. Okay, I'll go for 1,000. All right. The only new car that I have ever had is I've had 2 new cars. I had a 2001 Trans Am.
Must be nice.
Yep. Well, it was the Pontiac side. It wasn't the GM side. So it was still nice. So 25th year anniversary or something like that. She was mean. A buddy helped me put in a 502. It wasn't a wimp of a car. Let's just say that. She was not a wimp. And she'd get up and roar. Straight piped it. Oh man.
Yep.
It was so loud that you couldn't even hear the stereo that was put in. Turned all the way up, couldn't hear it. You go driving on the interstate and you go past someone and you'll blow your eardrums from the sound vibrating off the other vehicles. I had some woman say that it was better than a Harley ride.
Damn.
Yeah. I scared this one kid. We had this whenever I was growing up, we had this little area you go up underneath the bridge, and you have a little park side there where you put boats in and stuff. Well, there was this group or a cackle of people that, just after high school.
Yep.
So they had all these Mustangs, and he's throwing some money in it, little mommy's cars, daddy's cars that they got to drive around, or their cars if they didn't know what they were quite doing with. Yeah, they throw plenty of horse, but the tires could never put it to the ground or something like that. It's still used in Walmart tires. So it made no sense to me. Yeah, you drop $5,000 in the blower, but it's not going anywhere except out the tailpipe.
Yeah.
It's not even hitting the road. So I come rolling through there with that 502, and I'm telling you, it's like a plop, 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 as I'm just rolling through, and they're all wanting me to spin my tires, and they'd get in your way. They'd kick at your car if you bark your tires. So I passed them up. I turned around as I was coming back. They all got my way, and I just dropped the clutch and left a smoke screen from hell. And I was only doing about 5 miles an hour, just enough for the clutch not to be pressed. Didn't want it to kill, and I had it in second gear, dropped it to first gear, and as soon as those RPMs kicked up, I hit that pedal, and it kicked me sideways. It was roaring loud, and just smoke everywhere. I got stopped, like, yeah. And it was only a telephone pole length between where I started to the underpass of the bridge. I got to there, I got pulled over to get out and say, "Oh, what do you think about that one?" And they're all leaving. Like, what? No, I didn't make friends. Oh, dang it! I must not have been cool enough. No, they were leaving because it was too much noise.
Aww. Fucking babies.
So I started following them. I left, and I'm going down the middle of the street here, Court Street, and cops just flying past me. Like, I wonder where they're going. They were going to where the noise was being reported.
Oops.
Right. So I go back there, and I'm sitting there the next day, and they're like, "Dude, that thing was loud," and blah blah blah. They're all googling I googled candy in my car and everything else, and usually wherever I go, my car turns into a car show. That's just how it was. So I was sitting there, and this kid, he had this orange GT. That's all it was. It was a GT, nothing special. He said he dropped $5,000 in something. I don't even know what he dropped it in. Wasn't really listening to me because, I had a decal on my windshield that said Pony Killers, and each time I raced, I would add another hatch mark to that. You know what I mean?
Kind of like what they did in like World War I and II, and
yep. Oh yeah, I would piss so many people off. Pony Killers is what my decal was, and he's sitting there telling me how his Mustang was so fast this, so fast that. What can my car do? Oh yeah, they were putting oil on their tires to get them to smoke, stomping on the brakes and everything else. At any given time, all I had to do was hit the gas. Any given time, I didn't have to hit the brakes. I can drop it into drive, and start coasting, hit the gas, tires are roaring. I'm leaving a smoke screen. That good. Well, he's like, "Well, what can your car do?" And I looked at him, I'm like, "This car could probably do 100 miles before I can hit this underpass. You pick the distance." He's like, "The boathouse," which it was about 4 telephone poles away. Plenty of time to hit 100 miles. Plenty of time. I'm like, "No, there's gravel there. I don't want to throw gravel. They just burn up my engine. I won't get anywhere. Put it on the cement. That's only 1 telephone pole distance." He's like, "Yeah, that's a better deal." He's like, "Do it. Let's see it." I'm like, "Get in." And he's like, "Shh, this ain't gonna be enough. I'm gonna fall asleep." I told him, you might want to sit in the back seat." He's like, "Why would I want to do that?" I'm like, "Because this car's gonna put your panties there and keep them there." But he's like, "Oh, bullshit." I had permanent indentation marks from his fingernails on my door handle and on my console. From him.
Open mouth and insert the foot, huh?
He got in, I turned around, got past the pole, turned around, stopped right there by the pole. I didn't wait too long. As soon as I got stopped, he said, all right, so let's see what this little bitch can. And as soon as he started running his mouth, I opened up. All those valves opened up and took off before I hit. As I was getting ready to look down, I looked down and saw my speed as I was shifting. The shadow, which was high noon, I mean, it hit as I was going under the underpass. It hit my hood, right about where my ram air was. It was a ram air induction. As soon as it hit that, I went to shift. I grabbed the next gear, 113
Damn.
in first gear. And he was crying like a little girl. He couldn't even stand up. His knees were knocking. And that's happened more than once.
I teach him to open
My
his
buddy,
mouth.
yeah, he's like, you're going to kill you. That was crazy. He's like, I saw the speed. He's like, he was doing 120. He was doing 130. He was doing 150.
Jeez.
Yeah, the car was something else. My buddy, he races rice bikes. And he's the one that had the 502. He's not afraid of speed. He can get on two wheels and do. He was driving the Dodge Raptors. I think that's what it was called, his concept bike.
Oh yeah.
He beta driven those before on closed tracks. Those go 400 miles plus. They would suck you off the bike if you poked your head up that fast. That kind of speed he's used to. He took my car, and he went down to the store, which was about a mile and a half. I could still hear the car roaring in the background. And then he came back. He didn't even park the car in the driveway. He hit his yard. He didn't even turn the car off or park it. He didn't even take it off the clutch. He let it kill itself as he crawled out of the car. He was so mind-boggled by the force and the power of that car that he couldn't even function right while sitting in it and driving it.
Jeez.
Yeah, he got in that drive, and he's like, "Dude, you're gonna kill yourself in this car." Yeah, this is my work car.
I
And
would
it was just a work car.
have said, "And what's your fucking point?"
When I bought the car, I asked the dealership guy. I asked him like, test drive. He's like, "Yeah, go ahead." He handed him the keys. I'm like, "You're not gonna come with me?" He's like, "Frankly, you steal it, it's insured. You're gonna go buy. Your papers are sitting right here. I got your name, address, got everything I ever needed. Bye." He's like, "I'm not getting in that car." "Why?" "I pulled it off the trailer." No, not getting in that car." "What's wrong with me?" He's like, "Frankly, that car is too fast." So he was even afraid of it.
My kind of a car.
Oh, dude, nice. Like
Anything
I
with
had it
speed,
sitting in
you
the
better
garage.
fucking hide it from me, cause my ass will fucking rip the damn tires off the son of a bitch doing burnouts.
My tires were bolted. I only had like 13 pounds of pressure in the rear tires, and they were bolted to the rim.
You wouldn't have tires by the time I'd be done with it.
It's
mother-
ripped tires off of the rim. The car has literally ripped tires off the rim. It's picked the front end off the ground. Yeah. So literally, yes, I've done it. I put it to the rims. I had to go and buy more rims. Fucking $2,500 tires each.
Oh yeah. Shit ain't
Oh,
cheap,
yeah.
dude.
No. That car has tried to kill me 3 times, and I was only just from regular. I was pulling out into the traffic, trying to get into my lane. I wasn't trying to stomp it, romp it. It just decided to go sideways, and then dogtail and fishtail and go crazy on me. I saved it. Yeah, but it tried to kill me several times like that. First day I got it, I took it down a back road into the next town, and it got cold and iced over. She don't like ice. So now I don't drive her if it's not 70 and sunny for 3 weeks straight. And on that day, she don't get driven.
Jeez.
Yeah, she was that beast. I took her to a car show, and I was parked out in the parking lot, not in the car show. And I'm just going around looking at cars and everything else, and noticing people, motioning to go to this other area, and I'm just doing my thing. I'm drooling on this Mach 1, the old Mach 1. I'm drooling all over it.
Jeez. Jeez.
And I started noticing that there's less and less people in the car show. Even the people with the cars, there's no one there. I'm asking questions to the wind because there's no one there to ask questions about that car. And I noticed everyone's out there in the parking lot looking at my car. So literally, I got told to bring the car into the car show because it's out there advertising itself for free. So I had to go get my car, put it in the car show. It sat in the car show all about 30 minutes, and I had this guy wanting to trade pink slips. Now I'm on I'm on a drag strip, and he's like, "I got this Ford Lightning." What? I have a Ford Lightning. I'm like, dude, I gotta get a picture of that because there's only so many of them, and it's a 91 Ford Lightning. I mean, kind of awesome. So as a kid growing up, that was the truck that I've always wanted. So I went over there and I'm drooling all over the truck. He's like, I'll trade you pink slip for pink slip. What? He's like, your car for this truck. What?
Temptations, right?
Yep. I told him, dude, I got like 20 more notes to pay off. He's like, I'll pay him. You're gonna drive this truck off of this trailer and go home and never have to worry about another payment for that car. I passed it up.
You idiot.
Dude, I had to push this car out of my garage because I could not stand the compression. Just the sound bouncing off of everything just was too much. It felt like it was stopping my heart. It was loud. I got a noise pollution ticket. I drove to the wrong town and I wasn't even doing anything wrong. I was just driving. Got pulled over. Too loud.
At night I can understand getting a noise violation ticket, but during the day,
Clear day.
nope.
3 o'clock in the afternoon, got a ticket.
I would have looked at him and said, does it look like it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you fucking moron? No. So take a ticket and go to hell.
Same town that I live in now, I got pulled over at 3 o'clock in the morning because I was out and about. And I was in a Trans Am and I was a kid.
Oh boy.
So he thought I was either dealing or doing something shady. Why does a child, which I was like 23, 22, I'm not a child. So this young man, whatever you want to call it, driving this $43,000 car around at 3 a.m. just for some cigarettes. Yeah, I got pulled over. It had a dog in my car. The dog ate my sandwich. I was mad about that. Get that flea bag out of my car, blah, blah, blah. I was so mad. Oh, there's drugs in this car. No, there's not. I don't do drugs. Drugs are gross.
Like, so, where's your proof at, bitch boy?
I got North Pekin police. I used to live there, and they'd come over all the time and talk to me and everything else, shoot the shit, whatever. Well, they got the new Camaros, and the new Camaros first come out, the new body styles when they first come out for the police to get. So the police were starting to get them to use them as squad cars, so they're racing up and down the roads in the middle of the night. The squad cars, they're racing each other. And I jumped in my car, and I waited for them to come roaring by, so they come roaring by, and I just hammer it right up behind them. And then as soon as I noticed that they noticed that I'm there, I bolted around them and took off, left them in the dust. So now they're chasing me. So I go past it's a long curve or road, 4-lane, traffic, big merge in the center, painted line, and plenty of pavement to do whatever. So I pull the e-brake, started sliding, and get it turned around, and I'm sitting there, and they come to a halt, and they're all behind me trying to run my plates, and they're like, "What the heck do you think you're doing? That was dangerous." I'm like, "You guys drag race every day." I had to make a point that those cars aren't really all that great, buddy.
Yep.
He's like, "Yeah, but we kept up with you." I'm like, "Those cherries and berries caught me. I respect your cherries and berries. I just wanted to show you something." And like, "You got it on camera of me speeding, right?" He's like, "Well, no. I'll see you later."
Yep. It's like, peace.
Well, they were screwing around. They had all the dash cams off and everything else.
Well, yeah, so they don't get popped.
Right. They were breaking the law just as much as I was.
Yeah.
I was driving through that same area, and the sheriff pulls me over. He's like, "Hey, So, you looking to sell this? Yeah, sure. Anything's for sale at the right price. He's like, 17 grand right now. I'll follow you to the bank right now. I'll pull the cash out now. I'm like, that won't even buy a left tire. Sorry, no. He's like, what? I'm like, the engine's like $63,000. Good luck. He's like, bull. I'm like, no, no, no. Well, I'm like, you come up with a better offer, buddy.
Yep.
Because this was I had a basically Lingenfelter rear end in my car. I didn't know where the transmission was at all.
Oops.
Transmission is in the rear end. There is no it's a differential, but it's also the transmission. You have engine, there's no bell housing for the transmission, it's in the rear end. That's it. It's for weight displacement, so when you're driving, there's some weight on those tires. There's
Yep.
back tires that keep the back end on the ground, and the weight in the front isn't too heavy for your turns and stuff to slide up hills and banks. It also had I had to get a compression rate, which I did not change my oil because this oil, when you put sound or magnets to it, it would dance. I don't know what kind that is. If the viewers know what that is, please comment below.
Yeah. Anyone got answers, please.
It would literally dance. I don't know what kind of oil this was. I mean, it was a full synthetic oil, but I mean, it was crazy. You put some sound waves to it and it starts reacting. It didn't have a conventional oil setup because that engine, when it hits these high banking corners and stuff, these vehicles could hit certain G's and stuff. So the oil would rise because you go on around in a circle racing. It would rise to one side, and you would burn up your rings and your piston heads on the other side because there's no oil. Well, that compression oil with the little compression unit would pressurize the engine with that oil and keep the oil throughout the engine. I don't know what kind of system that is. If I described it correctly, that's how it was described to me by a dealership. They were fancying it to see it, but like I said, my buddy helped me put this in. He had a vehicle that he put it into a tree. He bought it from the insurance company, and he put this stuff into this car. The 502 and the oil and the transmission, the differential, the tires. Right. I was just a punk kid. I didn't know any mechanic. I was mechanically inclined, like on 90s old vehicles, tinkering with like oil changes and stuff. But I sat for hours trying to figure out where the dipstick was. There is no dipstick because it's pressurized.
Oops.
Right.
Well,
So
it didn't pick up the damage. Thank God, No, I don't have that mod in. If you guys are wondering, I do not have that mod in. But I was about 23 minutes late.
oh, so you got charged, didn't you?
Like $742.
You should have put the hammer to the floor, buddy.
I was trying to, but
It's dangerous doing it if you start hitting towns without seeing them.
yeah, especially when you're trying not to die. Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult going from that powerhouse to a leaf blower with windows, a Hyundai. I had this little Hyundai Sonata 2008. Didn't last me 9 months. I guess those engines, as what a mechanic was telling me, you can't have less than a quart of an oil without frying the top end. And apparently that's what I did. She was not a quart, she was like a quarter of a quart low. They said that, and I had it changed every month because the distance I drove to go to work was about an hour and 20-minute drive, about 70 miles one way to go to work. And that's what I was driving. So by the end of the month, I was putting in about 3,000 miles. So I was changing my oil at 3,000 miles every month. About 35 to 4,000 miles. But I was changing it, and the oil was clean, and I had all the documentation, so there's no reason that she was A, low, or B, going to blow. You know what I mean? And where I bought it, I took it back a week later, told them, hey, there's like a tick in the engine. They're like, no, that's a normal 4-cylinder sound. 9 months later, they had a new sound.
the same sound but louder.
All right, go ahead.